So now, audience, we have another poll for you. And the question is for each one of you, during the pandemic, to what extent has your patient's oral health been compromised? The poll will come up very shortly. Please take your votes. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to Gitana, a leading hygienist from Lithuania. So we've all gone through so many changes, Gitana, during the pandemic, and many lifestyle changes have affected our oral health, ranging from dietary changes to varying stresses. And what are the most common observations that you've witnessed where oral health has been affected?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I think pandemics was really huge stress to all of us and for our patients. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was really a huge stress for most of us and for our teeth as well, I think. Actually, few of my colleagues from Netherlands recently published an article about patient self-care of oral hygiene during pandemics. And what we can see in this publication that patient really had just a bit decline in their dental hygiene and their daily oral hygiene, because most of us stayed at home, had more snacks, more comforting food, more carbs, fizzy drinks, coffee. As Donna mentioned before, usually we have our coffee in 5 minutes, but in pandemics, we could spend 1 hour drinking 1 cup of coffee, chatting on Zoom, and so on. So we can imagine that our oral health had some, threats, and for enamel, it wasn't the best time because of so much sugary drinks, so much chocolates, and stress as well, because as we all know, stress really works very hard on our oral health as well, and more tooth grinding, more stressful. So this all affects our oral health and our patients' oral health.
Yeah. I didn't know if you saw the results to the poll there, which was quite interesting.
Yeah, I saw, but that's what I mentioned, that our poll results are really very in compliance what I saw in the publication of my colleagues from Netherlands. Yes.
So you've spoken about in our conversations about an autumnal diet and how that impacts sensitivity. And personally, I think this is an extremely interesting observation. Can you please expand on this?
Yeah, because usually in autumn, I get some questions from my patients, because all patients know that it's so healthy to eat more fruits, more berries. But as we all know, fruits and berries, besides carbohydrates, also have some acid. And sometimes patients, for example, if they have some sour apples, not those from supermarket, but from their own gardens, they experience more sensitivity. Maybe sometimes they do not have sensitivity in regular days, but in autumn, when they have more berries, when they have more fruits, more acid fruits, they feel this tooth sensitivity. And we also, what we notice that some patients are coming, they try to have more smoothies in their diets, yes, more acid drinks. People think smoothies are really very healthy, they are, but on the other hand, it's not so healthy food for our teeth if we have this smoothie for 1 hour. I mean, like all our enamel will be like put into the acid. Mm-hmm. So yes, those diet autumn diet can be threat for tooth sensitivity as well. And that's why I get really a lot of questions from my patients in autumn. Not so many like in spring or summer, but more in autumn, that they feel from their fruit or berries.
Yeah, that's interesting thing for us all to be considering about the time of year. So as a practicing hygienist and a distributor of oral health products, what considerations do you take into account before recommending a product in both roles?
I would not say that I take into consideration in different roles when I'm distributor or when I'm hygienist, because as a hygienist, I always will focus on the problems of the patients. So I will ask what they are using now. We look at their problems, and then we try together to find solution. And me as a specialist, I'm always very keen to give something new, something innovative, something scientifically proven. And as a distributor, I have really freedom to choose which products I can bring to my market. So I always focus on the same thing. It should be innovative, it should be scientifically proven, it should be somehow unique, not on the market yet. So so that's what is really important for me as a hygienist, as a distributor.
Yeah, thank you. And you market BioMin for Dentine hypersensitivity as a distributor. What about periodontal patients? What do you recommend for periodontal patients?
Oh, yes, this is really a very good question, because this is the question I sometimes get from my colleagues, because they are asking me, okay, I like BioMin toothpaste. I use it for some remineralization, for sensitive tooth, but what could I recommend for periodontal patients? But I always tell that we should take into account that periodontal patients very often suffer from the Dentine hypersensitivity. It's because of the gum reduction, and they really have this problem, and because of the gum recession, they experience not only tooth sensitivity, but they also their tooth tissue are also in danger. So what I really like to recommend them BioMin, so I'm sure that their tooth surface will be protected against acid attacks, not just only tooth sensitivity.